Welcome to طاولة السفرة, the dinner table. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to let you know that this channel had always been an Arabic-speaking channel. I've purposely wanted to make it all in Arabic, even though I live in the United States. I've been living in the United States more than 48 years. I'm originally from Iraq, and I wanted to show the people in Iraq, now that there is the tool of social media, now that there is a tool of YouTube and other social media outlets there, that I can share with them the good things I've learned since I moved to the United States. I owe the United States who I am. I owe the United States that I have the life that I live and what they have given me and the things that I've learned from them. You always, along the way in 48 years, you always learn good things and not necessarily very good things. But what I wanted to focus on are the positives and what I can take from here and from my learnings in the United States in terms of life and what succeeds in life, and share that with my fellow Arabs. So I opened this channel and I started talking to them about the most important thing in life, raising kids. There are still a lot of things in the Arab world that is not done correctly. And I have learned that in the United States. And I tell everybody, I don't mean to show off. I just want to show you that I've learned this and I want to share it with you. It's up to you whether you feel like that's the right thing to do or not. The next thing I always share with them is that if we raise the next generation the way that we need to compete with the world, we raise them on being good humans, very non-conflict people. We raise them to be peaceful, to be understanding, to not have any kind of negative solutions to things, and raise them to be educated and very well aware of the world and not just one point of view. If they get to the level where they can take on the governments of the Middle East, then that's what we're going to be doing in the future. Then the new governments in the Middle East will be in the hands of the people that we raised wonderfully. Right now, because we raise our kids in a dictatorship at home, when they grow up and leave the nest, they still expect and accept dictatorship powers in the government. But if we raise them to where that's not the way to rule, that's not the way to lead, then that's what they're going to expect. And if they become our leaders, that's how they're going to lead. They're going to lead in a very peaceful, democratic way. And that's what we want. Eventually, we in the Middle East don't raise our kids to send them to the West. We don't need to send them to the United States or England or France to get educated and live a better life. We are providing that for them inside our countries. If we do that, then we solve 99% of world's problem. Immigrations will be almost non-existent in the West. We don't leave only the bad people in the Middle East, and it becomes a very disoriented, very conflicts area in the Middle East, and they can take care of themselves that way, and they provide the resources and the opportunities for the next generations and the next generations thereafter. And they live in harmony with their neighbors. What better life can be other than that, right? So that's what I've been advocating. That's where most of my videos are. It's raising kids. And because while I'm doing my researches and studying and all that, I realized that narcissism is a trait. It happens when you're raising kids, not an inherited psychological problems. So for that reason, I started studying more and more of that and arrived at the reasons why we have a high level of narcissism in the Middle East than we do in the West. So I started talking about that too, that part too, and apparently a lot of demands for that. Well, recently I've been getting a lot of questions and comments. Why don't you do this channel also in English? And I wasn't interested in that because I was thinking the subjects do not fit doing it in English. But when I started looking into it, I realized that there are some things that I can do and share in the English language, which is the sharing the other side of the equation. Coming from the Middle East, knowing about religions in the Middle East, I can share politics and religions that we always see conflicts in the world about. And if we stay silent without offering a solution, all of these conflicts are going to be worse and worse every day. And we have seen that happen so far. So if I have a 2 cents to share, I will. I have the media already. I have the channel. And I'll just share it. If it does work and somebody listens and they take it to the next level and try to implement their solution, then I'll be very happy. If not, I did what I could do. That's how I can reach people. That's how I can solve the problems, by offering the solutions that I see best fit. I always tell people through my Arabic side of the channel that the solutions I offer cost us nothing. We don't have to go buy guns. We don't have to lose lives. We don't have to do anything. And the time is passing as Arabs. We are the 20 years from now until 20 years from now is going to happen, whether we sit back and don't do anything or we take action and we move in that direction. So I believe that if we start doing that today, 20 years from now, we're going to see good solutions, good results. So for that reason, I share that with them, and I always say that we don't have to lose any more lives, and we are losing every war we attempt at taking a part of. And at the end, we lose lives, we lose money, we lose guns, we waste our effort. And if we have enemies, our enemies are getting very happier and happier. We can win by not doing what they want us to do, which go into wars, spending our money onto things that are not necessary. There's so much money that is wasted in doing so much in the Middle East that we can actually use it to build our people instead of our guns and ammunitions and soldiers and wars in general. So from that perspective, I want to share with you my side of how religions are dealt with. In the Middle East, no one changes their religion. I want to say that no one is very general statement. I don't want people to say, you say no one, but I went on a mission and I changed 3 people or I changed 10 people. That's very possible. And I'm not going to disagree with that. There are a lot of people in the Middle East that do change their religions, but they're very minute number, and they may or may not have some other, ulterior motives why they're changing their religions from one to another. But mostly, we always say in the Middle East, we are born and we die in our religion. Our religion is like our blood. So we don't change our religion. I lived in the Middle East all my 17 years, almost 18 years of my life. I never had to worry about my religion. Nobody came and wanted to change my religion. I never felt like I needed to change my religion. Everybody around me was of some sort of a different religion. Nobody bothered me, and I didn't bother anybody. So instead of trying to go and do some kind of preaching about my religion, or they do their preaching about their religion, because everybody thinks that their religion is the best. Everybody believes that they're going to heaven. Everybody thinks that they're doing what God wants them to do. So for that reason, what we need to do is push back on the religion advertisement of the religion part and become private in our religions, just like we used to be when I lived in Iraq. I didn't know what religion was my neighbors. I didn't know what the religion was of most of my friends. All I knew is that my religion is mine, and I prayed when I was by myself or or at my house of religion. So with that in mind, that's what we need to talk about. That's what we need to preach. Instead of trying to conflict with others, instead of trying to go argue and say, my religion is better than yours, why don't we just tell people, I believe that your religion is your religion and it's wonderful that you have a religion, and I'm very supportive in whatever religion you have, but keep that to yourself just like I'm keeping mine to myself. Keep your religion and your prayer to yourself. I'm not going to change you. Don't come change me. Let's find that common ground. The common ground between all religions is we need to help each other. It doesn't matter what your religion is. God, your God, or our God says, help one another, be kind to one another, take care of each other, and if someone needs help, you go and help them. If someone needs your assistant, you go and help them. In every religion, that's a fact. That's told in every religious book of God. The way I look at my religion is that I do what I think is the right thing to do. I love everybody around me. I take care of all the people that I can take care of. I want to help whoever I can help. If someone comes to me with an advice, I try to give it to them. If they want money, if I have it, I'll share it with them. And then the rest, it doesn't matter to me whether when I die, if God wants to send me up or down, if I'm going to hell or heaven. It's not my place. I do today what I know in my heart that's what God wants me to do. That's my religion. And then I'm not going to go make anybody change their religion to mine. And everybody should just leave their religion to theirs. It's such a peaceful way of living if you do that. And that's most people. Most people live that way. When I was in Iraq, that's how people lived. Muslims didn't want to go and change religions of the Christians. No one wanted to do that. We push Muslims to do that because we are always in their face, tell them that their religion is bad. Your religion is really bad. It's abusive. It's killer. Is murderers. All of this stuff. Who wants to hear that about their religion? Now, if we were in a country that people did not feel like the religion runs in their blood, then maybe that tactic will work because we're trying to push them to change their religion. But when people believe that their religion is in their blood and you're trying to suck their blood out by telling them how awful their religion is, what they're going to do is they're going to want to fight with you. They're going to want to do whatever they can do because you're making them live inside their body in a war with their own self, with this conflict that you're telling them that their religion is bad, is murderous, is everything bad under the sun. So why do that and risk having many, many people that are in a deep disturbance, violent, hurting one another? Instead, let's talk about how God wants us to be good to each other, helpful to each other, and leave the prayers to ourselves. Leave ourselves praying in our own way, and leave everybody's religion in their heart. That's what we need to spread. I don't want to hear any Christian go to any Muslim and say, my religion is better than yours. I don't want any Jews telling the Muslims that their religion is better than yours. I don't want to hear any Muslim telling anybody else what, that's something that we can do. I believe that once we subdue the people, once we calm them down, they will accept this way of life, which is the way of life that everybody lived in, all religions. 50 years ago in the Middle East, these people didn't just suddenly became violent. They were not violent. They became violent when we were in their face telling them that their religion is bad. Everybody, all these people, whether they're Christian and Muslim and everybody, they're fighting because somebody is out there telling them that their religion is bad. If you don't change to my religion, I'm going to do this. If you don't do, that's why we're having all these conflicts. Why would we want to do that? If it's going to buy us peace and harmony and loving one another. This is our mission, and this is what we do here. Please join me. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.